everyone.
Hi.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about helping your spouse through a tough time. And this topic came about because I absolutely started 2018 out with a bang, like on high. We started with a corporate fast at church, and last year was the first time at the church that we're attending now. This will be our 5th year attending that church, but it's the first year last year that God really spoke to me about doing the fast. And I asked my husband, and he joined in, and the children did as well. And I felt like I was so strong going into 2018, and God spoke to me so clearly on those 21 days of the fast, and things were just going really well for me, in every aspect, emotionally, physically, spiritually. I was just hearing God and talking to him. And then I have this thing with people where I let people affect me, their actions or their inactions, their words or their lack, their off, or how they say things or do things. It really hurts me because I love people and I get my energy from people. I'm such an extrovert, really get energy from being around people and wanting to be the best me with people. And I think that's like a childish thing about me. I just want to be in a good relationship with everybody, right? And that's not going to happen, and everyone is not going to like you or like the choices that you make. And I really feel like one thing, if God tells me to do something, I'm going to do it whether or not someone agrees with me. And I want them to see it, right? I want them to get it. And Patrick always told me people are not always going to get it. They're not going to get your way, or they're not going to see what you see or what God tells you or show you. And I'm like, why? I think I cry about that a lot. He heard me cry a lot close to the end of last year. I mean, so much just about, Lord, honey, why don't they understand? Why can't they see how, my heart is, and, what the desires of it is, and how, honey, you want to chime in on that? It's really, I don't want to cry, but, and so it was really good for me to have a husband who was able to help me through that, to listen to me cry through that, and to listen to me go over and over with that in my head and in my mind, and I feel like if I didn't have him, it would have been a harder process for him to tell me, let it go. He would hear me. It's important to be heard. He would hear me, but then he would say, honey, you're not going to get people to apologize if they don't want to apologize. Even if they're wrong, they may not apologize. Or you're not going to get people to understand you, even though you're doing the right thing, or you believe it's the right thing, and even though you can't comprehend. And I would think like, honey, what did I do wrong? And I would go through the steps like, what did I do wrong? I want to make it right. And I'm this person, I love to talk things out. Even in my relationship with my husband, I love to talk it out. I love to work it out, because whatever mistake I make yesterday, I don't want to make it tomorrow. So I want to know what I did. So I want to go through the whole thing. I want him to know how I feel, and for him to tell me how he feels, what I did wrong, what I think he did wrong, so we don't have to go through it again. And I do that with friends, with people that associates, because and a lot of people don't even want to talk about stuff. They just want to be like, okay, forget it. And I'm like, there's an elephant in the room, we got to discuss that elephant. And I feel like we can't move forward if you don't appreciate my feelings and me wanting to talk things through. I love you enough that I want to talk through it. I get hurt, I'm emotional, and I tell people my high is high and my low is low. And Patrick will say, I get very low. And people, and it puzzles me that people love me when I'm high, but when I'm low, my husband will tell you there's no middle ground. Cynthia is here or there, and I have to work on that, right? But that's how my energy is. It's really up there, or it's really low, and I have to try and not to get in my low place, or to allow people to get me there. And when I get there and I verbalize, this is how I'm feeling about this, I really want that person to understand and to hear me out, because I love you. People that I don't care about, they may offend me, but I get over it. I'm like, okay, how do I live with this person, or I work with that person? And people that I love, if I have to cut something out, if there's something that we're doing together and we shouldn't do it so we can be friends, I am so good with that. If you are my stylist and there's something about doing my hair that doesn't work, it's like, okay, let's cut that out, because I need us to be friends. I need us to be good. Whatever that is, I need us to be good, because that's more important to me. And so I'm blabbering on, and so I'll let my husband speak to how he really helped me through that. He's a logical person. I feel like if I was a man, And if the roles were reversed, I'd probably be in jail because
she'd want to fight everyone who cuts her off, and every checkout person at Walmart or something like that, she would have words with. So it's and she does have words with the checkout people at Walmart. But if I'm not there, it could be sometimes worse. And it's not words like, bad arguments, but it's,
I don't curse. I just
so it's good sometimes being the logical one to say, you know what, it's really not worth the hassle or the trouble that you're putting on this particular situation. You just need to let it go. Or it's it could be a serious thing, a serious situation. I always say to people, because I deal with people all the time, and they get offended by people, and I always have to say, people are people.
Yeah.
People, to put it bluntly, people suck.
Yeah.
We all have traits, we all have our positives and negatives, and we rub people the wrong way all the time, whether we know it or not. But just, you have to realize that not everyone is always on the same level.
Very true.
Not everyone
understands.
Not everyone has that moral compass to treat people with empathy, regardless of the situation. I could be completely upset with a particular person, but I still go into a situation with that person focused and with a level head.
I would tell you,
it's that moment could be the turning point of that relationship or that situation. And if I came in guns blazing, then it would have made matters worse, and we may not have gotten to the successful outcome that we could have.
And I'll tell you, he doesn't take sides. Like, I'm his wife, and if I come to him with something, he wants the whole through, not just my feelings, like this person hurt my feelings, this person made me mad. Why? What happened? And he will quickly tell me, if I am wrong, honey, but you shouldn't have said this, or you shouldn't have done that. And if I am right, he will say, yeah, you're right, but how can we fix this? Go talk to that person. You guys try to resolve it. He's never been that person. Sometimes I'm like, I want you to, but he's not a side picker. He will work with the person, talk with the person, because he's like, y'all need to work that out. That has nothing to do with me. And so that's how he is and always will be. And in the moment, I am like, ugh, that annoys me. But afterwards, I tell him, I truly appreciate that about you, honey, because you are clear. I can clearly come to you and know, not because you are my husband, you're going to take my side, or even if I am right, you're not just going to, exclude people or, be that person. So he's a logical person. And I guess I could be logical for him if he's in that situation. But for me, I'm mostly the one where people bothers me. And for 2019, I'm over with that, guys. I've been so delivered from that. God took me to the altar and worked on me through that. And so I'm happy for the place that I am for 2019. I'm starting strong and I'm going to end strong, but that's a different story. We'll talk about that at a different time. So I guess the three things that we wanted to emphasize with helping your spouse through a tough time is to be the logical person. Be the person that's going to make the right decision, because the other person is very emotional because they're the one who's going through the tough situation. And even for my husband, I had to meet with someone and he had a car accident, and I'm going to share this, and he was like, go because I need you to resolve this, because I was up crying and I couldn't sleep. I was having insomnia. I wasn't eating. I was a mess. You would look at me and I would look really tired, and people would assume I was tired from school, but I was just really tired from the stress of trying to figure out how to fix this relationship. And he was like, oh, when you're done, you come. He wasn't rushing me, and he helped me to really he was like, time to solve this issue. And I really appreciated him because he had an accident, and he's like, go deal with that situation. And that came at a good time because he was leaving for out of town the next week, and sleepless night started again, but it was a different kind of sleeplessness. It was more missing you and not just me being tormented about this relationship being fixed. And I so appreciated him for being open to say, go deal with this, get this fixed. He was empathetic, and that's the second thing. He can be very empathetic with me, even though I may want to just be mad about something. And I have grown, guys. I promise you, if you knew me, I hear people tell me stories of being in high school when I was a teenager and the stuff that I would say or I would do. And I was like, did I really do that? So when people tell me now that I may need to hush, I'm like, believe me, I'm hushed. I am hushed. I'm this little person, but I am I have grown tremendously, but I know there's more growth. But I think when you grow up and you've had to be quiet for so long, I'm an advocate because I'm a social worker, so I know now how to advocate for myself. But sometimes he's like, honey, that's not even worth it. And so I'm learning that. So logical person, an empathetic person, and then we say pray, push, pray, pull, right? Because you prayed for me through this, right?
Sometimes I should probably do more pushing. I was happy to see that word in our notes, but pushing. I mean, pray for the situation. Pray for the, obviously your wife or your husband. Pray for those that are involved in whatever the situation is. It could be simple, it could be trivial, but it's important enough that it's bothering whoever it's bothering, whether it's your husband or wife. But really push them to handle the situation better, not push them to what am I trying to say? Not push them to. We both pointed at the phone. Battery's low, everyone.
Yes.
But not push them to confront the individuals, because that could be messy.
Yeah.
But push them to handle the situation, sensitive enough to whatever the situation calls for. Don't turn the car around so people can go confront people in the heat of the moment, because that's never going to end up well. No matter what intentions are in the person's head, you could have the best intentions of this just happened, we're on our way home from a restaurant or wherever, let me turn around and go confront this person.
We have that experience.
But it's so true that even though you could have the best intentions, I need to get this resolved. I just want to deal with it.
To just resolve
in the heat of the moment, it's never going to come out the way you intend. You're already agitated and upset. You're not in the right frame of mind to handle the situation. So it's best to disconnect, pray, push your husband or wife to handle the situation with the care that it needs. Then pray some more. And then
pull them out. Pull them out of it. I have a friend and she always says, take your time, Pam. I can call your name, but she says don't stay there very long. And I always remember that in the back of my head, because as a social worker, I tell people all the time, process. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to have negative thoughts and feelings, and I hear Pam in my head, but don't stay there too long. And that is very true, because we think because we are Christians, we're not allowed to be angry or sad. It is okay as a person, just as a person, to have those feelings, but it's how long we stay there. And I think I stayed in that position way too long because I really wanted it fixed, because I do love people and I want people to understand me. And when I feel like people misunderstand me or see me in the wrong way where I truly wasn't trying to do that or say that or be that person, it bothers me, and I want to fix it. I just want to talk it out and make it better. And so I thank him for praying and pushing and praying and pulling me out of that, and for allowing me in that process, but for being empathetic with me, for coming down there with me and for feeling what I was feeling, but at the same time being very logical. And so that's what we want to say to you guys, and I'll have a follow-up on this on my own, of how going through 2018 and ending 2018, I purposely decided to end it how I started it, even though in the middle was so rocky for me. And sometimes we miss what God has for us when all this distraction comes. And there were things that God wanted me to do, things he would wake me up to say and do, even in unwavering love, but I couldn't do it because my heart was so broken, and I couldn't post what I wanted to post some of the times when he told me to do things, even in the single, I couldn't do it, and so all those things, when I think of like, God, you wanted me to do all these other things, even though I did stuff, he wanted me to do more, but I couldn't do it because I was in this very broken place. And so I thank him for his healing, and I thank him for my husband. And so we want to encourage you as couples, when the person that you're with is going through, your spouse, your fiance, the person you're courting, is to really be there for them, to be logical, to be empathetic, and to really pray, push, pray, pull, and keep, just keep praying. And so we want to know, what do you do as well when the person you love is in a situation where it's taking them longer to come out, how do you help them through it? And even words of encouragement for us to extend that. So, I don't get in that place. He doesn't let anything bother him as much as I do, and that balances us out a lot. But
I need nothing. She needs everything.
Whatever. He needs something. He needs me. But so anyhow, thank you guys for listening. I hope this helps someone. And the situations that we talk about, people may see themselves in it, and some people may know what we're talking about, and so we're past it now. And so I thank God for that. But we want to share it because we do all go through things, and we need that person to help us. And thank God when one person is down in the relationship, we both aren't down at the same time. But we always know how to look to God for guidance in that. And so we pray the same for you. Again, subscribe. I can't say that word. And share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you.
Thank you.